right, we are ready to go.
Yep, and it looks like Guzma might have won the die roll, but at the same time, I know that Aaron Furman is choosing to go second throughout this tournament. So
no matter who wins the die roll, he wins.
Yeah.
That's a good strategy, especially if you want to have a long tournament run.
Yeah, I mean, you just build your deck to go second, right? And that's it. Like, worst case scenario, his opponent wins the die roll, chooses for Furman to go second or first. He might still just have a small spiral combo. It's not like his spiral combos aren't great, right? They're just not nearly as crazy as what we've seen the very quick fix reliant combos do.
And they're not as consistent anymore either.
Yeah.
But it looks like Guzman started out pretty strong with Skullcrabat. He's got Wisdom Eye Magician and Black Fang Magician, and has traded Wisdom Eye Magician for a Purple Poison Magician. So that gives him his scales, 1 and 8, and allows him to Pendulum Summon Wisdom Eye Magician to his Extra Monster Zone. A lot of people thought that pendulums were gone once the Extra Monster Zone was introduced, but that was proven to be false in very short order.
Yeah, no, pendulum's still pretty strong. What was that Exceed summon?
That's a Baguska.
Oh, well, that would be great if Furman didn't open with Evenly Matched in his hand. Now he gets to wipe out plenty of cards. He goes Enter Battle Phase.
He knows what's coming.
Guzman just can't,
Only one thing's happening.
Furman's reading Evenly Matched to make sure he's doing all this sequencing right.
Can I really just play this?
Yeah. I just say Battle Phase and you just start banishing almost all of your cards? Were you in the match where we saw someone Mystical Space Typhoon, the Evenly match?
No, I watched it, though.
Okay, yeah, that was a little unreal.
I see that Guzman's got a Cosmic Cyclone down there.
Yeah, that's what made me think. Yep, so he banishes all those cards. Now he's left with the terribly tired Tapir and a Max C.
He's too tired to get banished. He's just going to sit there.
Yeah.
That's an interesting tech choice. I see that Furman's got Pseudo Space in his hand.
Yeah, so actually I was talking about it. He has a set rotation in his deck, so he was looking for a second field spell. Initially he had, I think he went through like the 3 options of like Dragon's Ravine with Destrudo, didn't like it too much. He thought about Secret Village of the Spellcasters for a while because of Ib, and just giving it to your opponent means if they flip it, they can't play spells unless they have a Spellcaster, but because he wasn't the super combo-heavy version, he didn't want to include Ib. So I think he just chose Pseudo Space as the next best option.
Guzman gets a couple turns behind Baguska's effect to try to build up some more cards. While Baguska's in defense, everything else has changed to defense, and the effects of monsters that are activated while they're in defense position are negated.
Same thing as like when someone yawns, you start yawning, you just see how terribly tired Baguska is.
Exactly. He needs like 4 pillows because he's that tired. Good. Interesting note, Link monsters cannot be shifted to defense position, which makes them basically the natural counter to this. Now, Baguska's out of Xyz materials, and that means bad things are going to happen to him soon. If you can't detach a material during your standby phase, Baguska self-destructs.
Or Baguska.
He's woken up now, and he's going to swing for 2,100. And while he's in attack position, he cannot be targeted by card effects or destroyed by your opponent's card effects.
Yep.
A very good monster. It's not certain that Guzman has recovered from Evenly Matched yet.
No, he has a couple of pendulums, it looks like. He has Harmonizing and Purple Poison in his hand along with that Maxi. Furman's been building a hand since turn 1. He drew Spiral Master Plan in his opening hand, which wasn't the best, but the rest of his hand's fine. He has Terraforming, Pseudospace, Foolish Burial, a Super Agent, so...
You know what? That Master Plan has been showing up in a lot of opening hands today.
Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate.
Let's see what he's going to take here.
I think it might be...
Baguska in attack position is immune to Spiral Tough.
Yeah, I think he might be getting Drone, is his plan. Just make sure he can special summon that Super Agent from his hand. I guess Tough does the same thing, but I don't think he can activate Tough, actually, can he?
Not without a target.
Yeah.
And I do believe it only targets your opponent's cards. And he does get Spiral Tough. He does, in fact, summon it. Does not seem right to me. This attack position card cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Your opponent cannot target this attack position card with card effects. And that's not while it has Xyz material either. The Xyz material part is just for determining whether or not he lives.
Yeah, it looks like Guzman doesn't necessarily know how his own terribly tired tapir works either.
We had this with Holly Angel.
Yeah,
Both of the
earlier.
matches she showed up as well. Both players did not realize that she protects their cards from being destroyed.
Yeah. Luckily, it didn't affect too much, because if he would have searched drone, it would have been effectively the same thing, I think, because he's probably going to overlay right now for, or I mean, not overlay, but link summon. But you're right that this is not the first time we've seen a misstep like this. Oh, he's going to summon his own Baguska. Is that what's going to happen here?
It's bizarre. Not entirely certain what that accomplishes, other than giving Guzman more time to draw cards. He'd also lose his Spiral Resort in that case. He's going to do anyway. Now Baguska's going to self-destruct.
Yep.
As it cannot detach material. And Baguska is too tired to be destroyed, apparently. Wisdom Eye Magician is destroyed by Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit.
There we go, that was corrected.
Picked up. There we go. And that leaves Guzman with Purple Poison Magician, Harmonizing Magician, and another Cosmic Cyclone.
And now Furman can do what his deck does best, just beat down.
Guesses Monster. It's a spell.
What was it?
Is Pop Desires. And now he's going to Link Summon.
Yep.
There's the Helix. He knows it's a spell now, so it's not really a guess. It's interesting, he could get a Super Agent here and still blow up the back row if he wants.
Interesting. I think he's going to try, Quick Fix.
Get Quick Fix. Quick Fix then gets Drone.
Yep. Hasn't used his normal summon yet.
Ah, indeed. And he does have that pseudo space to mimic Spiral Resort for a turn.
Yep.
And it looks like that's what's going to happen here. Pseudo Space is one of those World Premiere cards from a long, long time ago. I
Yeah,
believe it
very,
was
very
from
long time ago.
Ancient Prophecy, back when
It is.
field spells weren't so good. Combination of field spells not being quite as powerful as they are these days, but also, back in that time, the field spell rules were different. Only one field spell was allowed on the field at the same time. So even if you had a super powerful field spell like Necro Valley, all your opponent had to do was side in a field spell of their own. And they could stop you from using it.
Loud sigh over from Furman, because there's 2 copies of Pot of Desires on the top for Guzman. He's going to leave both.
Seems a lot better than giving him another Pendulum.
Yeah.
The third card, I think, was Harmonizing Magician. And that's one way things could go south.
Yeah, I think Furman actually has Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, so he can answer the first Desires if he'd like to, but then... Oh, I guess the second one gets banished, right? Because he'll still have to banish the top 10 cards, yeah.
See summons for Sylvan Princess Sprite. I don't think I've received personal requests to have that card released, or any card released, more than Sylvan Princess Sprite.
It's a cool one.
And a lot of them are coming from inside the office as well.
Oh, man.
Sylvan Princess Sprite, you can attach to excavate your top card. If it's a spell or trap, add it to your hand. If not, send it to the graveyard. It's fantastic if you actually play it in Sylvans, but it's also really good in decks like this as well.
Yeah. I think its key use in the more combo-heavy variant of Spirals is to, after you've special summoned back a Quick Fix via its own effect, you use it as an Xyz material, right, so it doesn't banish itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Spiral Master Plan is summoned in defense mode by Big Red. Big Red, kind of like Premature Burial, special summons a monster from your graveyard and equips to it. But unlike Premature Burial, it's a good thing that Big Red sticks around. You can't take out the monster by destroying it, and you definitely can't take out the monster by battle because Big Red prevents it. I don't know, though. I think if I were a super spy, I wouldn't name my car Big Red. Summon. Eve is up next. Dark Spellcaster and Wind Plant. Sorry, Light Plant. do not match, so Eve is allowed here.
Yep. Let's Furman add Spiral Sleeper and Spiral Resort. And activate the Resort to get another search. Find Spiral Super Agent.
Don't believe he's used a special summon effect of Super Agent yet.
Nope, not yet. Is this just game, actually? Looks
It's
close to it.
19, 18, 28.
With Super Agent, it has to be.
Last Resort.
Or did he already go to his battle phase to do something? Or oh no, he used the effective sleeper to destroy his own. Oh no, it was Last Resort, I guess, right? He used Last Resort to send his mission to the graveyard, so the sleeper can attack directly.
Yeah. So we're at 28, 19,
Appreciate that. Yeah, just make the
18, 19, and the drone wouldn't really do anything other than add a couple 100 attack points. His opponent doesn't have any cards on the field anymore. And that'll do it. Guzman has seen enough, and Aaron Furman has taken the first game.
Yeah, one big reason that pendulums have been kept in check since circuit break is evenly matched.
Yes.
Definitely levels the playing field.
Yeah, I mean, the Pendulum Magician deck has one of the best trap cards in the game. Time Pendulum Graph is incredibly
Unreal.
powerful
Yeah.
by any metric. But everybody else has evenly matched,
Yeah,
and you can't really play it yourself.
yeah. Do you think that there's some way to build the pendulum deck to just sort of answer that? Like include, like, for example, we saw artifacts for a while, right? Artifacts just as something to go first, but one reason why it's so good is it can answer evenly matched because you can get artifact Lancia or something, right? Or maybe
Right.
it just main decks Lancia, whatever. Do you think that's something we could see pendulum do it, or do you think it hits the consistency, which is like the big draw to the deck?
Well, I'm trying to think right now if there's anything, if there are any silver bullet cards essentially other than the artifacts.
That's
Something
not
that you can
evenly
slot
matched.
in to block evenly matched. And all of my ideas aren't exactly the most competitive.
Yeah, I would think that if there's something that can somehow negate like a spell or trap, right? Like that's ideal, especially one that would just like, so you have, first thing that comes to my mind is like, okay, like Dark Bribe, right? Or like
Right.
Wiretap, something like this. But maybe there's one where it's more like a Dark Bribe where it can stop spell and traps, but its requirement is like, oh, I have pendulums. Is there any pendulum-themed counter trap that would help it out, or a pendulum-themed card that would somehow?
I mean, you'd probably have to do something like main deck Scoldings.
Solemn, you know, I am a fan of that one. I actually love Solemn Scolding. I could easily see that being the answer. He also side decks 3,
Yeah, so
so
it could
that's
be that
probably
Guzman
why they
thinks
bring
it
them
is,
in.
too.
Yeah, no, that actually just makes perfect sense. That Solemn Scolding is just the way to beat that card, and then they probably don't expect a game 1 actually, which is why
Yeah.
they don't main deck it, and then they figure game 2 and 3. But a lot of people, I think, are on main deck to evenly match this weekend. Just it's so good going second.
I'm seeing so much more of it than... So, like, the last 2 weeks of results essentially have yielded no main deck evenly matched. And now we're seeing it everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what my first thought was what's something, maybe it's dark and it blocks... Oh, Jinzo. Finally here, Jinzo. We're just going to pendulum summon Jinzo. That'll do it.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, it turns off time pendulum graph, so it's definitely a non-starter.
Yeah.
But that was my immediate thought. Yeah, Jinzo. Finally here.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, no, I actually really like the decks from this weekend. I've seen a lot of really cool and exciting ones. The one deck that I haven't seen more of, which I would actually like to see, is True Draco. I think True Draco is still a fine deck because it's so good against hand traps, and it's one of those decks that's good going second. But obviously, like with the hits from the FNL, it's a little hard because like it operates in the same axis kind of as this like going second spiral deck does,
Yeah.
right? Like it tries like, oh, just do your thing. I'm going to try to just blow up a couple of your cards and then win with my board.
I was honestly expecting that somebody would have come up with the True King 6 Samurai deck.
Oh, yeah, you were showing me that back in the office. It's like a
basically-
dinosaur deck.
Yeah, there's a gap where the dinosaur deck used to be.
Yeah.
And the 6 Samurai deck with Dragonic Diagram and True King Mariamne does very much the same thing, except it can back it up with Shien from time to time.
Yeah.
Or just have double Shien or something crazy like that.
Yeah,
on the
no, I
first
remember your basic combo was just, Secret Six Samurai Fuma plus Dragonic Diagram,
Yeah,
right?
Six Diagram and Fuma.
You get to summon Trishula and then make a rank 9.
Yep.
Which is so strong. And then you were saying if you add Dojo to the mix, you get some other crazy thing, and I'm sure it goes even further from there.
What it'll do will expand in the future, but you'll see more of that in the months to come.
Awesome.
And it looks like our players have finished their side decking. They're drawn for game 2.
Yeah. And this time, Guzman does have the Solemn Scolding for Furman's evenly matched. It looks like he's just going to set Solemn Skull and pass his double Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, Wisdom Eye Magician, and Perform Power Pendulum Sorcerer. If Furman chooses to activate that 1-for-1, he can get hit pretty hard by that Ash Blossom. It's pretty unfortunate. But he drew Gofu, so I think step 1 is Gofu.
Yes.
Oh, this is great, too. He gets a check for Ash Blossom and Joy Spring to make it worse against his 1-for-1.
I like that.
Sweet.
That's
Yeah, that's really heads up. And now he can probably Gofu into Ningirsu to deal with the back row. And so then his 1-for-1 is just completely free.
If he Scoldings, then Girsu. Like, can Furman just win through that now that Ash Blossom's out of the picture?
Oh, for sure. He has 1-for-1.
Yeah,
1-for-1 is the most powerful card in the Spiral deck, right? Because it does Quick Fix double summon, right?
Without Quick Fix or double summon.
Exactly, yes. Oh, looks like he's going to 1-for-1 now. He might... Yeah, I don't know. Maybe... Okay.
That's going to eat the Scolding.
It's probably because, like, if he Ningirsus, right, he doesn't think that he's just going to Ningirsu and then attack for game. He's probably reading that the trap card might be something different, right? Or, like, you know, it could be like an artifact. I don't know. He doesn't know what it necessarily is, so maybe he was just hoping to go as wide as possible and just produce as many things and then just play through the trap like that. But
I do wonder what he's going to go ahead and make here, though. I don't know how good Ningirsu is.
yeah, 1 card in his hand, Magical Spring.
Borlo Dragon seems good if he can get another monster. Borlo Dragon's pretty much always good, though.
How do you feel about this as a side deck card against Pendulum?
Against this particular Pendulum deck, because it's so based on destroying its own cards and doing stuff, I like it.
Yeah.
This was a very old school thing.
Yeah.
Like right when the Perform Age craze started, this was touted as one of the answers to it. Of course, that deck was far too powerful to be stopped
Yeah.
by anything like this, but it was raised as a possible answer.
Yeah, no, I definitely haven't seen this card in a while, so that's pretty cool.
Starts with Link Spider. And next he goes Link 2 for Proxy Dragon. That's 2,600 points of attack. Now he combines them for Ningirsu. So he's going to lose out on 100 points of damage in that exchange.
Yeah.
Where's Proxy Dragon 14? I thought. Oh no, Binary Sorceress is 16.
I think Proxy Dragon.
Proxy Dragon's 14.
For whatever reason, I always thought Proxy Dragon was 1,000. It's 1,400?
Link Spider's 1,000.
Oh, okay, that's why.
Yeah, Link Spider's 1,000. Proxy's 14. Binary Sorceress is 16. So now he's got Ningirsu on the field.
Oh no, he gets 100 attack out of it, right?
Yeah. It also cuts Guzman's life points neatly in half. And did he have any Spiral monsters? What did he return for Spiral Resort? Did he return anything?
I think the monster he discarded for 1-for-1.
Oh, the
was
Ghost Ogre. That's right.
2 cards in hand? Correct.
All right, so he swapped his Wisdom Eye for Purple Poison. And did he have a Harmonizing Magician in hand? No, he had Pendulum Sorcerer.
Yeah, it's Pendulum Sorcerer, and his last card's Ash Blossom.
All right, he destroys 1. He only has 1 Perform Foul, and that is Joker.
He's on a face-up card? Yeah, any face-up card.
It's interesting that he didn't set Magical Spring.
Yeah, I also found that interesting. I thought he was going to set it. Maybe his plan is to evenly match his opponent? I don't
Is
know.
that his last card in hand?
His evenly match and Magical Spring as his last 2.
But he's got Spiral Resort on the field.
Yeah, so evenly
So he
match is a
can't do
lot
it.
worse.
He can't activate it.
Oh,
He has
because
to
you have to
have
control no
on the
cards?
field.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I was wondering if he had sent something back to the deck with Resort.
Mm.
Looking for the following players: Miguel Vasquez and
Normal summons Perform Power Skull Acrobat Joker.
The main event stage.
And it Looks like he's going to grab another Wisdom Eye.
Zachary Seitzer and Kyle Fussell. Please come to the main event stage.
Doing some quick math, he's both normal summoned and pendulum summoned this turn. Herman's at 8,000 life points. And he takes Purple Poison Magician. It is really hard to go wrong with Purple Poison Magician. That's a very strong card. Activates it in his second pendulum zone. It goes for 15. Another 15. And at least 18. Purple Poison Magician, interestingly enough, doesn't require that your monster is battling another monster. It goes ahead and activates it. Is he going to destroy the resort with that and then get hit with evenly matched? Oh my goodness, he is.
Oh, what?
And then Furman does not use the evenly matched.
I think he's just maybe tunnel vision too. I use this during my turn. I go stand by Manfi's battle phase. Yeah, that's actually really bad because now he gets to keep the Baguska. Oh man.
And it actually, the monster he discarded for... Oh no, he sent the Gofu back, not the Ghost Ogre. Wow.
Yeah, it looked like Furman had all the pieces to win this duel, but it just did not go the right way.
Not playing the evenly matched there was...
Yeah.
That's probably going to be his undoing in this one. Because Baguska right now is stopping him from doing anything.
Yeah.
Or otherwise he had quick fix to at least try to do something.
Yeah, I think Furman might realize his error right now. That's a pretty heavy sigh.
Not setting the magical spring was pretty rough as well.
Yeah. And just not the initial thing, too. He could have just Ningirsu'd away the back row and then gone for one, but obviously that's a little bit different, right? Because you're trying to read what the back row is and playing accordingly, but these other two were like on-field things that he could have done.
Sets monster. One thing that he can be pretty sure of, though, is that Baguska's likely to stay in defense.
Yeah.
I don't really see Guzman going on the attack with it, though. If he had enough monsters, he might. Oh, he's going to go for it.
And now he can... Oh, no, he needs a Spiral Super Agent. Never mind. I was going to say he could just discard to bring back Quick Fix, but... Depending on what he draws for turn. Let's see it. It's Magical Spring and...
Looked like he picked up the Gofu.
Gofu. Oh,
back.
man.
Well, that's not a bad one.
No, but he already used a bunch of resources, right? He already used the Link Spider and the Ningirsu.
Yeah, he's only got one of each. Proxy Dragon he used as well. He would have to go for
I don't think
Gaia
he's used
Saber.
Proxy... Oh, he used Proxy Dragon? Oh, I guess he did.
Yeah, he used Spider into Proxy Dragon, so I think he has to go for Gaia Saber here. It's the second time we've seen Gaia Saber.
Yeah.
After not seeing him at all in the first few months of the Link Monster mechanic existing, Gaia Saber has been shown up a lot more just because it can be made with anything.
Yeah. He's part of one of the bigger spiral combos too, because they need specifically a monster this generic that can point down. It's the card that they summoned before Firewall Dragon,
right.
yeah,
Okay.
at the top of their triple co-link with Trigate Wizard.
Well, Gaia Saber, the Lightning Shadow, evens the score at 2,000. And Guzman drops it to 1,000 to take out a back row, but he's only got one card in hand, and that's Ash Blossom.
Yeah.
What's he going to do to get out of this one?
Draws Scolding. That's not going to help him
gonna do
now. He has to just set Ash Blossom, set Scolding, or he just concedes instead.
He doesn't try. Ooh.